I don't think I have enough words to describe how the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has inspired me as a black man, let alone what he has done for me and my mental health. His commitment, his passion, his legacy, it obviously reaches the far corners of the earth, but I'd be remiss if I didn't talk a little bit about how he has reached me as an individual. I remember back in the 8th grade, we were doing a play for Black History Month, and our teachers were casting students to play Black leaders. I cannot tell you how bad I wanted to play Dr. King. If there was one person in Black history that I knew and that I was inspired by, it was this man. I fought tooth and nail to get that role. I did not get that role. However, I was cast as Thurgood Marshall, so I guess it wasn't too bad. I can't complain because Thurgood Marshall is also quite the figure in Black history. But from that day in the 8th grade all the way through my life as a 35-year-old influencer, now living right outside of the city of Philadelphia, my connection with Dr. King runs deep. To this day, I reflect deeply upon his words and his tenacity to fight for what is right. He's just a beautiful soul. No matter what was thrown his way, he always stood up for himself and his people. How could you not be inspired by that? I still remember back in, I want to say 2016, I took a trip to Washington, D.C. with some close friends of mine. We were planning on being the typical tourist and hitting up every monument in the city, some of which I've seen multiple times before. But at the time, I had not seen Dr. King's memorial in person. I just saw it in pictures. And let me tell you, pictures don't do it justice at all. I remember standing there in silence, just looking up at this massive stone structure. A structure carved in the shape of Dr. King, a structure that just exudes power and pride and humility. I honestly couldn't believe my eyes. I stood there in silence for what felt like years, just staring and thinking about this man and what he's done for his people and this country. I think of him whenever I'm facing trying times myself. Honestly, I feel sometimes as a black man, I'm just simply misunderstood. I feel like I'm often held to this impossible standard that I often fail to meet, it seems. Now, I would never remotely compare my life to the life of Dr. King, but I do take inspiration from that man in my life. He was doubted. He was beaten. He was hated. But no matter what, he persisted. He kept going because he believed in himself, and he believed in his words, and he believed in his journey. He believed in his people. How could I not draw inspiration from that, especially as a black man? So this week, as we celebrate the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I reflect upon my experiences as a black man in this country. This week, I think about all the people all over the world who are doing their best to make a positive impact on their community and their people. This week, I am also thankful for many of us having a strong understanding as to who Dr. King was and what legacy he has left and what he means to people all over the world today, especially me. In 2023, I will celebrate the life of Dr. King by being a positive advocate in my community and here on my platform. I want to do my damnedest to amplify the voices of the people who also pursue a world of peace and love and acceptance. That's how I plan on celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King this week. What about you?